I wasn't too sure if I needed it. It kind of sat in the box for a little while. Hey folks, I'm Adam and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at the Carpuride 502 Pro. Now, I'm going to start off by telling you that Carpuride did send me this. However, I don't do product reviews in exchange for products. Just by default. With this channel, any review you find on here will only be for gear that I actually use, for something that I have found a use for. If I don't find a use for it, you won't see it on this channel. Now, Carpuride were cool with that when I talked to them about it. They sent me the unit anyway. And at first, to be honest, I wasn't too sure if I needed it. It kind of sat in the box for a little while. I played around with it a little bit when it turned up, and yeah, it seems like a cool little unit to me, but I'm not really the guy that likes to have my dash covered in gear. I don't want to have my phone mounted on the handlebars, etc. That's just not the guy I am. I like the idea of getting on the bike to get away from technology, not adding more to my ride. So for me, that was kind of where the sort of sticky point was with this unit. It might not be for you, and then this video could actually be quite useful for you. So what changed? Well, I was on this 5-day trip going through Kyushu with my buddy David. We call it Soul to Soul. You can see, I'll link it in the cards here. Really cool trip, worth checking out. And we came across a pretty big problem. See, normally when I'm out riding and I need to use like guidance or GPS, what I do is I just run my Bluetooth to my helmet using the voice command, the voice guidance, and I can just listen to where I need to turn, you know, through the headset on my helmet. However, on this trip, because I was riding with my buddy, we had the intercoms paired. So I couldn't do both at the same time. I had to keep switching between talking to David or listening to Google Maps. And it became a real headache and a real problem on the trip. And that's when I realized that this Carpuride system had a place on my bike. So now basically what I can do is sync my phone using this Apple Play, I think it's called, and have the navigation displayed on the screen when I need it, which I don't use it all that often, but when I do need it, it's nice to have it there. And that way it clears up my headset for communicating with other people. Although I should also mention another point is I just picked up a new helmet and I haven't put an intercom system in this one yet. I'm still kind of shopping around for what kind of intercom I want to use. So for the time being, I will be relying on the Carpuride for when I do need to get around for my Project 47 videos. All right, so what is it? Well, look, it's a 502 Pro. Basically, it denotes that it's a 5-inch screen. And essentially, all it is a device, a display that you can connect your phone through so you can run your apps. Apple Play, right? CarPlay, whatever it's called. It does have a few little minimal features built into the unit itself, like a barometer and a compass. That's kind of cool, although not 100% accurate. I found it sort of deviates a little bit because the barometer, of course, works on air pressure. So for your altitude, it can be good some days, it can be bad some days. It kind of depends on what the weather is doing. So that's a little bit of an issue, but you know, not a deal breaker. It has an SD card you can slide in so you can play your music or have films or whatever. I haven't tried that. I'm not interested in that, so I don't really use that side of the function. It also will connect Bluetooth to 2 helmets simultaneously. So if you've got a passenger on the back of your bike, you can both be listening to music together, or etc. So that's kind of a cool function that it does have. The screen itself is, while it's small at 5 inches, I went with the smaller one because I didn't want to have a huge 7-inch screen on the front of my bike. It's really visible even in bright daylight. It has no problems. It has this little sunshade on here. So it works really well. I've had no issue seeing it. I do notice that sometimes it's a little slow to connect to the CarPlay, the Apple Play, or whatever, the screen sharing. It connects very quickly to the Bluetooth, but you seem to have to go through the wireless function, your Wi-Fi function, to get it to do the CarPlay. And sometimes that can take a beat, which can be a little bit annoying when you're on the road. Now, as far as setting it up on the Scrambler 400X, there's 2 ways you can do it. You can run it has a USB-A, so you need an adapter, but you can run that into the USB-C port right here on the front of the bike, and that will run the unit fine, and it will turn on and off with your ignition. However, like I said before, sometimes the connectivity can be a bit of an issue. And also I want to use that port for my camera or other things. So what I've done is I've just hardwired it straight to the battery. Super easy process. I did have to buy a couple of connectors to connect to the wires so I could go straight onto the terminals of the battery. Now, I didn't want to go through the hassle of trying to wire it into the ignition system, so this basically has an on and off switch here on the side. You can also disconnect the main power line just here. And I did a test over 3 or 4 days while it's been raining, just left the bike sitting here with the unit all connected but switched off, and noticed no power drain off the battery. So she's good to go. Just don't leave it on all night if you do use it. Remember to switch it off. Okay, so the unit is waterproof. I haven't tested it out fully, but I've had it in the rain. It says on the box that it's IP67 rated. It works with iPhones, it works with Android. It's compatible with both. I've only tested it with the iPhone, and like I said, other than sometimes being a bit slow to connect, it works flawlessly in that regards. It's kind of nice to have the navigation there, especially when Google Maps does that annoying thing of asking you, would you like to stay on the current route? Press yes if so. I hate that. I always plug in some crazy routes through the mountains when I want to go on like a really cool bendy road, and then Google always tries to redirect me to an expressway. So it's nice to be able to hit that touch screen and switch that off when that comes up. And the touch screen is really responsive, even with gloves, works fine. So no problems there. Okay, so let's turn this bad boy on and I can show you how it works. Now it comes with this little plastic screen protector on there. I just left it on there. I don't really need to take it off. But there's a button here on the side. We just press that and hold it for a second and the unit starts to boot up. Now, it's not the fastest thing you're going to come across, but it does the job. Okay, and this is your introductory screen that you get when you come straight out of the box. As you can see, there's nothing much to it. You can change the backgrounds. There's a few options built in. I leave it at the plain one because it's just least distracting. As it said, it has, you know, Android connectivity and iPhone connectivity built in. And basically, apart from the SD card function for your music or movies, whatever, if that's how you want to do it, it has nothing else built into the unit itself, just the Bluetooth and the screen sort of sharing ability. Except for this. This is my favorite bit. So it says mountings for some reason, but this is a compass and a barometer. So it tells you, you know, where you're going, in what direction you're going. It tells you what sort of lean angle you're at. And it also tells you your altitude. So right now this is bang on. It's 43 meters, which is exactly the height for where my house is. You can switch that across the different functions. You can also switch it over to miles and feet, etc. So as you change through PSI, it just tells you the air pressure, etc. So you know if the weather is about to change, which is pretty nice too. All right, so let's connect it up to the phone. So if you click on here like this, you'll see that it automatically quickly connects for phone and for music. That comes through the Bluetooth. In order to get the AirPlay to work, you need to connect it to the Wi-Fi. So sometimes this is where I have a problem. Let's see. I'm sitting right next to the unit right now, and I'm waiting for there it is. Okay, so now it turns up. It's connected because I've connected in the past. Now that should automatically boot up the iPlay or the CarPlay system. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So sometimes you got to hit that button there. It's telling me no, it's not working. So you come in here and tap that icon, and there you go. So now it works. So it is sometimes a little bit, you know, you got to mess around with it a little bit. It's not a perfect system. But as you can see here, look, that's, you know, you got your map. It's touch screen, works fine. You can kind of see where you are. You can click over into your music. You can click back to the main screen here. You've got your apps that whatever you choose to run through your CarPlay, they're all going to be listed there. Yeah, it's everything it says it is. So it works really well. Now the question is, should you buy it? I mean, it's not overly expensive. I'm not going to mention the price because it seems to fluctuate depending on sales and region and stuff, but it's a cheap unit. It's for what it does. It's pretty, inexpensive. It's better than, for me, it's better than putting your phone up here on the dashboard because your phone's going to overheat. It's going to be hard to see and you can damage it. So it's just much easier to have this dedicated unit here, keep my phone squared in my pocket. Should you buy it? I would say up until I found the use for it, I wasn't really interested in it. But that's just me. That's more about my style than it is about the unit. If you're somebody who loves to have a GPS unit, who wants to have your screen here, wants to be able to see your apps, see when messages and stuff pop up, then yeah, it's a great little unit and it's really well priced for what it does. Okay guys, so that is my take on the Carpuride 502 Pro. Does exactly what it says it does. It does it well. It's well built. It's cheap. If you're looking for a GPS unit, that's a good one. I'm sure there's plenty to choose from, but that one works just fine and I'm happy with it. So yeah, what else is there to say? If you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like and drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Helps with the algorithm, helps the channel grow, and most of all, happy riding.